Welcome.
Oh my god!
It never gets old.
No, it doesn't get old. That's isn't that from Borat?
That's Borat. That's his theme music. This fictitious Kazakhstani singer by the name of Korky Buchik. Korky Buchik. That is Korky Buchik, folks, with his hit single "Bing Bong Bing Bong Bing."
Bing bada ding bang bing bang.
I love it. Now that's going to be officially our theme music here.
Oh god!
Demonetization be damned. Copyright be damned.
Helping every member take us seriously since 2018.
Exactly. welcome everybody. It's another Rogue Coin show where we get into cryptos, we get into the technical analysis, the fundamental analysis. We break it down for you with no psychics, no dragons, no tarot cards, none of that BS. Just good TA, fundamental analysis that backs up every single trade, every single call. We got two of the best guys in the world, in my opinion, Crypto Z and Crypto Cowboy. The 1-2 punch, the dynamic duo that breaks it down for you guys, letting you understand every single trade play by play. These guys are the John Madden of cryptos, the way they call these shots. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Without further ado, before I even say it, check us out at thecryptoschool.io, thecryptoschool.io. Whether you're new to cryptos, you want a curriculum, we got a 20 plus videos of the Crypto School about crypto, about cryptocurrencies on the cryptoschool.io that you can check out and get yourself acclimated with cryptos. And if you're a seasoned crypto fanatic and you're ready to trade, or you've been trading, you want to get into a better trade room, check out the Watch Us Trade Room on the cryptoschool.io, where Z and Cowboy will help you guys trade up, trade down, and make it all happen for yourself and make a killing, all for entertainment purposes only. And also, with that being said, gentlemen, what's going on?
Oh man, pretty big, some pretty big times in crypto space right now. As a matter of fact, I think Z got some information about Ethereum. Is that correct?
Yes. So Ethereum. So big news once again, V. The crypto space. The one reason why we love it is because it's always moving. It is never really stagnant. Just always exciting stuff on the horizons. A few things, for those of you who have heard, the SEC has a meeting about Ethereum as well as Ripple and whether they're considered securities. Some interesting stuff right there. That is essentially the reason why Ethereum is booming up right now. If you actually look at Ethereum's price right now, Ethereum has been ramping up lately. And I think that if the SEC sort of deems Ethereum favorable, you could see a nice spike up, potentially even to all-time highs.
Yeah, we've got, I actually brought up the chart on Ethereum. We showed it the other day on the show. And it is in a massive consolidation, and it's on the way up right now. And if you look at it, there's a big fat green candle from within the past few days. So that might be, part of the reason that we're seeing such a rise in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, so there's that. And I know that, of course, Bitcoin does rule the market. We've been seeing a lot of action with Bitcoin lately. Lots of big green candles. So I'm going to bring up the chart that I did. Actually, I did this chart a couple of days ago. I did delete some items, but I've pretty much left the chart as it is. And we're going to take a look at it on a few different time frames. This is a 60-minute chart. There is kind of a malfunction where it says 4 hours in the top left corner, but this is actually a 60-minute chart. So if you look at this, we're looking at basically a flag. So I just a couple days ago said it was going to possibly go out, possibly go down. Wasn't sure which one it was going to be, but this is a small accumulation inside a much larger accumulation that we're going to take a look at. And that larger accumulation actually has a resistance point right here And as I had called it in a prior chart, I expected it to kind of bounce. I did expect it to come down from here possibly, but this may not happen. The points where it could come down to are probably, I'm going to look at the supports around 9,400, then perhaps maybe a little bit lower around, the 91 to 93 range. So if it comes down, it may just kind of bounce off this. Right now, it's actually looking pretty strong. Although the MACD doesn't look that great. Some of these indicators don't look that great. But what you're actually looking at is there's Bitcoin's manipulated. So I'm pretty sure that some of this was being pushed up. A lot of times the indicators are not as reliable on Bitcoin. I tend to focus more on the shorter term and supports and resistances before I really make calls based on indicators on Bitcoin. But that's Bitcoin. Now, if you look far away, that I just switched the chart over to, that accumulation that we saw, the big yellow triangle on that prior screen, is this blue triangle right here that is in the larger time frame. This is the 4-hour chart right here. So this larger time frame is kind of showing, okay, there's this small accumulation, but then there's this big accumulation that's been going on since really since February, since the big dump. Kind of we saw it rise back up, and then we're sort of range bound in this symmetrical triangle. I still feel that we're not ready to break 10. I could be wrong. And what we do see is typically one of the tools that we use to read Bitcoin's movements is the futures. So you go on Bitfinex, we take a look at, if the shorts are in, meaning if everybody is betting that it's going to fall, a lot of times what people do, what the manipulators do, we feel, we're not sure, there's no proof, but we take a look at the order book, and what they do is they just push the price up and they start throwing in buy walls. So we may actually see a run. If in fact everybody's betting short. Personally, TA wise, I think that they do want to make this look relatively natural. I think we're going to bounce back down, and I think it's going to go into the sevens. As low as 7,100, maybe around there, and then maybe bounce back up and come up after that. Unless we break out right now. And if we break out right now, and if we break 10,000, and especially if we break 12,000, we're looking at some major bullishness, because 12,000 was essentially where we stopped back in like late February, early March. 12,000 was kind of the high. So if we could break 12, let me tell you. And the cool part is that we're here until it breaks that 11.7 mark. It's actually not really 12, it's 11.8, 11.7. There are other rooms out there where they're going to hide until Bitcoin breaks 11.7. And, they're going to hide, and they're going to depend on chicken bones and psychics. In the meantime, we're finding opportunities right now. And I can tell you right this moment, if Bitcoin stayed in this range forever, we'll make $1 million because we know how to do it, even in bad markets. So that's Bitcoin. Z, do you see anything else on Bitcoin that I missed, or?
No, Bitcoin looks good. I think Bitcoin is going to do pretty well here soon, guys. We're creeping up to that psychological barrier of 10K. When I mean psychological barrier, guys, I pretty much am talking about the overall SA, which is sentiment analysis on Bitcoin. What happens a lot of times, guys, and we saw this in the last huge run up, Bitcoin essentially hit 10K, and every single Joe Schmo with Coinbase, or every single Joe Schmo in general, really got excited. Everybody didn't want to miss out on cryptocurrencies. They downloaded the Coinbase app. Coinbase was overloaded, and before you knew it, everybody was buying Bitcoin, talking about it on their phone. At one point, Coinbase was like the most downloaded app for the last 2-3 months, which is ridiculous. And I really think that 10K barrier is going to signal a big push in the market. I could definitely see sort of Bitcoin's dominance rising up, as well as just overall market cap in the cryptocurrency market really increasing once Bitcoin breaks that 10K. And I think that the main targets that are going to be hit first, of course, are the ones that are going to be on Coinbase. Because as you all know, Coinbase is, really the gateway into cryptocurrencies for everybody. So, you can expect Litecoin, you can expect Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash to have a nice rise up as well. I'm definitely pegging those four with Bitcoin to rise up nicely. once Bitcoin breaks that 10K barrier.
Yeah, and that could happen. That could happen right now. Personally, I feel I'm kind of with Dex also on this one, where I think they're going to keep it range bound for the moment. I think we may have one more of these oscillations before we actually have our breakout, and that's like totally fine with me. I'm happy with that. I can make money.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
agreed.
Let me ask you this: there's a certain HODL employee who says he's not going to trade BTC. He's not going to come out and make trade calls unless BTC is above 11,700. But if it's at this level, that means he's never going to come out then.
Well, I think it's a ruse. I think he's stuck in jail, and he just can't trade. I think they put his ass in jail.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't pay for things in jail with crypto. It just, I think,
not yet, at least, that's for sure.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, man. I don't know how he's going to get honey buns and ramen noodles at the commissary.
Exactly. Actually, it's not the trader that goes to jail. It's actually the person who runs the room. The trader goes free. So if you're
right. That's right.
Who did that happen to, V?
A certain individual that I know.
Yeah, it's I think we talked about him last show, but the trader actually went away because the trader was just trading. But the guy who ran the room, I think he was using psychics or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you got to be careful what you do out there. Chase Nip. So. Basically, when you look at the graph here, what graph? I know it's so terrible. It's a chart. Z was pointing to the 10,000 mark, and that's that psychological barrier, very powerful. And we're right there. I mean, we are right there. So if we can break this longer term and break 10K, then we're going to see possibly quite a lot of bullishness. I know that 10.4 was a really important point. 10.4 was a really important point, 10,400, a little bit higher than 10K, but essentially that's what you're looking at. So I think 10.4 is the magic number for the bulls to start coming out. And then once we go above 11.7, which is somebody's favorite number, we're really going to see something. And 11.7 is actually pretty important here because if you look at it, it's a triple resistance from the old time. So back here, you had this 11.7 and it stopped right here and it went down. It's also the downtrend. I'm going to shorten this up here. It's the downtrend from the peak right here. And it is also, we found out later, this other trend from the symmetrical triangle. They all meet right at 11.7, 11.8. So when it does pass that number, anybody who knows how to chart very basically can see that. It's not a very impressive call, but it is a realistic call. And when it does pass 11.7, we could see some real fireworks. So that's Bitcoin.
Correct. And I really think that, once we hit that 10K marker, it's not just the overall sentiment of just people, but I'm thinking that the general media is going to start firing up, right? You're going to start seeing, oh my God, Bitcoin's above 10K now on CNBC and stuff like that. And people are going to, they're going to see it and they're going to flood in.
Oh yeah, the people from CNBC are going to take a break from advertising pharmaceutical drugs. That's the only reason they actually have any money, because they advertise pharmaceutical drugs because nobody watches them.
Because you have to be on drugs to watch them. That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
CNBS.
Yeah, CNBS is the actual operative there. So, but yeah, that's great. So now Bitcoin, if you look at it really close, what is actually very encouraging is that it's currently in a bull flag, is what it looks like. There's a little bit more volume here than I like to see, meaning that with a bull flag, usually you see like a decrease in volume before it breaks out. But technically, it looks bull flaggish. So there's always that possibility of a run, and we are ready for it. So what else do we want to look at, Z? Do we want to look at?
Actually, take a quick look at our favorites, I guess, Juan, EOS, stuff like that. So I posted an update on.
Could we do Litecoin real quick?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Litecoin. Yeah, that's definitely a fan favorite here.
All right, give me 1 second. Let's see here. I never get Litecoin ready because I don't trade Litecoin very often. The way
you're not a psychic, bro. That's why.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the.
Who needs fundamental analysis when you got psychic powers?
I've been telling you to trade Litecoin for 2 freaking weeks. Shut up, Billy Bob. Get out of my office. Billy Bob, dude. Always got to throw it his 2 cents. I don't got no 2 cents. I got like 4. Got 4 cents. All right, so here's Litecoin. We want to look at the USD pairing or the BTC?
Well, let's pair both to BTC. Let's do the BTC pairing.
I personally think BTC pairings are BTC pairing is a great way to like decide not to trade very much Litecoin. But then again, it's looking pretty strong right here compared to BTC. So maybe trading Litecoin is not the worst idea. If you look at it on the 4-hour chart, I'm seeing there's a lot of volume right here. There is a reversal trend on the long. So let me actually back up a little bit to maybe the 12-hour. All right, so let me make it look prettier. Man, I've been watching Litecoin for a while. So you have somewhat of a reversal trend, maybe, kind of. I mean, it's weak, but it's there. Technically, I think this is a reversal.
Wait, so we're not going up to $500 overnight?
Well, Cliff has a Litecoin surprise in May. So, I mean, I do like Cliff, and I've made a lot of money off of what he said. So Litecoin just might not be a bad one to have the bag of based on that alone. Based on TA, it's having a reversal right here, a little bit of a reversal. You got this, you're coming up through this pretty thick 12-hour cloud. But the cloud is getting thinner. So basically that's kind of a sign of bullishness. Your MAC looks pretty good right here.
And your patterns look good, man. That's a nice looking reversal type of movement right there.
Yeah, higher lows,
higher lows. I see a nice, those the TK lines are getting closer, which is always a good sign. Yeah, and the RSI looks good.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you want to kind of look at this as like a downtrend.
Yep.
I mean, if you wanted to see that as a downtrend, it did break the downtrend. If you want to use this as a downtrend, kind of, then you've broken it some time ago. I would go with the larger downtrend to be sure, although it's been reversing. So, I mean, either way, Litecoin does look pretty good as far as TA is concerned.
I would like a little bit more confirmation, little piercing of that cloud a little bit more first on the longer periods. I could settle for a 2 or 3 hour period for it, like showing some bullishness. but yeah, it does look good.
This is what I mean. I'm going to stretch this out so we can all kind of see it now. See. So it needled up to the cloud, like right here. It actually wicked up and it bounced off the cloud, which is kind of what we expect. So what I think may happen is that we'll see like maybe a bounce right here. I think it's going to go to the cloud. I think it's going to get rejected. Perhaps it'll go straight up a little bit. It's kind of subjective at that point. And I think it will get rejected and come back down to the trend line, which is good. It'll still be going up. And then this cloud, depending on how this cloud looks, if the cloud gets thinner, maybe it'll go up into a cloud. Maybe it doesn't have to get thinner. Maybe there's a Litecoin surprise. Not the worst coin to hold right now. Based on this alone and in comparison to Bitcoin, it is going up, guys. So there's Litecoin for you.
Yep.
I personally, not being that excited about Litecoin, I might wait for a retracement before I bought in. There you go. Or unless what you could strategize on this would be to use that other reversal trend that I drew earlier. I'll draw with a different color. And go like this, maybe, sort of. And once it breaks that reversal trend, it might even be a little bit more powerful. So right here, if it breaks it, then that's a good sign it's going to continue up through the cloud. If it retraces down to this reversal trend right here, and then it breaks this downtrend right around this area, then that would be like a confirmation trade. So once there's a break right here and we stay above this, that might be our confirmation to go ahead and buy some Litecoin. Or if you're a little more risky, or if you're not so worried about opportunity cost, you could buy in, like we might buy in like right here as it bounces off the reversal. So that's Litecoin as I see it. And Z, I don't know, is there anything I missed in there, or what do you think?
No, it looks really good. I think that it really depends, obviously, on the sentiment of the market, which is why I'm sort of waiting for confirmation. But that does look like a reversal right there. It does look pretty healthy right now, reversing up. Obviously, there is a giant red Kumo cloud. However, it's Litecoin, so there is a lot of volume to it. So it definitely can break through if it's one token that can. We really have to see. Hopefully the SEC does not come down on Ethereum and Ripple, and that should cause a nice little influx of buyers coming in. And Litecoin will reap those benefits because it is accessible on Coinbase.
Yeah, that's such a huge thing that Z points out right there. The volume, and then if the media kicks in, and all Bitcoin has to do is pass that 10,000. Personally, I think it's a 10,400. I think people will FOMO once they see it stay above 10,000. I think you can have it'll peak above it, 10.1, 10.2, might go back down, but once it stays above it and kind of breaks that 10.4, I think we're going to see the fireworks.
Yep, agreed.
So, I have up a few charts here. There's Ethereum. We talked about that. Here's EOS. And now this is a chart that Z and I put together. Z was like 2-3 nights ago. We talked about this on the last show, and then, as a matter of fact, this chart is relatively unchanged from our last show. So basically, and I like to do that. I like to draw charts and save them and not change them because it's great to feel right. It's great to be like, hey, I'm good at this. So I like to think a lot of it's luck, but there's a little skill in there. So Z said, hey, is that an ABC correction wave going on with EOS? And I said, that sure looks like one. So I drew one, and based on some prior information, I kind of had it going down to the 1600 range, and lo and behold, we're right at 17.4. So as a matter of fact, I had, the actual call that I made for what Z and I are going to do is we're going to wait for it to get into the buy range, and the buy zone for us is right here or so. More or less.
Make sure you pay attention, guys. For those not inside the room, this is something that we have indicated inside the room time and time again right now about EOS, and right now you're getting a free call.
Yeah, it's a free call. We do a free call every show.
Free call. Yep.
Every show we do at least a free call. But yeah, we had some guys when it dipped into there yesterday, they bought in. It dipped right here. Let me widen this out so we can see. It dipped with this candle. It wicked into it. Now it actually pretty much went in. So you could see some pretty decent support in this area. And if it goes all the way down to this fib level, which is the 0.382 fib, we can see a nice bounce up. So that's EOS. And I didn't bring up one, but I could just bring it up really quick. Actually, I have one ready to go. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Bring down one.
Yeah, I think that one. So before, guys, while Cowboy's looking it up right now, as I indicated before with one, I think that one established a new floor at 91 when it was in consolidation for a little bit of time. I think one was in consolidation for roughly, let's see right here, roughly 4 days. For 4 days, one was sort of trading sideways for a bit, and I think that is where the new floor was created. Remember that one right now is in pretty much all-time highs, right? It's close to all-time highs. It's way above. There is no previous data to allow us to indicate where resistances are and where really supports are right now.
Yeah, we have to rely on Fibonacci's and stuff like
that. Correct. So we have to completely rely on Fibonacci's because one is a new coin. It's still, in a sense, still in price discovery. So I believe that from April 26th all the way to April 25th, I guess it started, but April 26th all the way till April 30th, one established a new floor roughly around 91. It's currently bouncing along that floor right now, and we'll see what it does, right? And whether it's able to bounce off. If it's able to bounce off, it definitely has solidified that is a new floor for it, and then it bounces off and it continues its next rise up in a sense. Now one in terms of FA rose up because of the Huobi listing. It retraced now after the news as per standard. Not too much, but it did retrace some. And then right now, the next rumor right now is that there will be Bit listing. So for those of you who don't know, Bithumb is the highest volume exchange right now on the market. So, if Juan does get listed on Bithumb, you can expect some very, very big numbers to come in. I know the Koreans love Bithumb.
Oh, yeah.
And where's Bithumb based?
Interesting. Let's see. I don't know, actually.
Well, I figured it'd be based in Korea. No?
Mm,
So this is
Bithumb.
well, looking that up. I drew those supports. So we have that 9100 support, and you can, what Z was talking about was that sideways trading is like right here over the last several days. It's actually been
yeah, it's Korea.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about a week. A little under a week. It spent time at that 91. And this kind of goes back to that long view of Bitcoin. And I'm just going to flash back there really quick. A lot of people want Bitcoin to just rocket to the moon, right? But the more time we spend consolidating, and it's like building a strong floor, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, it's trading sideways, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, in this case, I do like to see a sideways trade. And if you look at it in one, this is that sideways trade, sort of an accumulation zone, not exactly a typical kind like we draw, but technically that's what that's going to be. And then, of course, it rose up beyond that. And it's now people that were accumulating back then, they took profit, and then they might probably buy back around the time that they accumulated. So we could see some action around that zone. The FA from Bithumb, that should push it up pretty good, I think. So that's one. Ven. I guess we could take a look at Ven.
Oh yeah, Ven's doing very, very well. Super strong, guys. Ven's got a lot of very interesting things. So I'll give everybody a little snippet right now about Ven. So Ven actually had it's not really talked about, but Ven actually had a big partnership recently. And the partnership that Ven did recently, let me pull this up. Let me save that real fast.
They partnered with the chicken bone company of Alabama, right?
You mean Billy Bob's company?
That's right. I'm rich on Van, bitch.
Oh god. So Ven actually recently, guys, partnered up with Mobi Blockchain Consortium. Now, just so for those who don't know, Mobi Blockchain Consortium is the co-founding members of this consortium, I should say, is Ford, Renault, GM, BMW, and IBM. So this is a very, very big deal right now, guys, because we originally talked about the fact that I started seeing advertisements of IBM talking about the blockchain, right? And we're like, oh, like IBM was releasing advertisements about supply chain. How is that going to affect Ven, right, in the long term, right? Is it going to be a competitive Ven? Because obviously no one wants to compete against IBM because IBM's a giant. Well, this is very interesting that now IBM is now, in a sense, almost partnered with Ven. So this gives me a lot of hope that maybe, IBM is not looking to create their own. They're just looking to utilize Ven. Now, this Mobi Blockchain Consortium is a really big deal because obviously we talked about how Ven partnered up with BMW and utilizing Ven's supply chain technology for BMW parts. Now GM, now Ford, now Renault are also getting involved into this. This is a really big deal. Only 37 companies are involved in it, and I will be posting the link inside of the Slack room. But if for those of you who are not inside there, you guys can simply go inside there and look it up. It's called the Mobi, M-O-B-I Blockchain Consortium. And, there's some very, very, very big names inside there, guys. There's Bosch is inside there. There's just a lot of really, really big names inside there. So
that's
definitely take a look at
not only in terms of automotive, but all the automotive suppliers like Bosch. They make the autotronic units for all the cars, basically the cars' computer boxes. They're a major component maker. So that's huge, man. That is huge.
Well, if that's the case, it's my understanding that Bosch has a partnership with IOTA as well. So could we possibly see something cross-chain with IOTA?
Yep, and IOTA is also inside of this consortium. They're also inside of here, I should say.
Yeah, see, I'm not so bad at FA.
Nope. You're not. So guys, one thing that I'm actually looking to work on is that before we create this whole room, and this will be an exclusive Rogue Money sort of thing. I got to figure out the logistics behind it. But before we got into this whole Rogue Money room, Cowboy and I are a part of a what's it called, an X node program. We essentially pulled together for an X node with some friends. We were to get that X node up. And as for some of you who don't know, look up X node for Venn. It's essentially a node program which will allow you to pull nodes, pull your Venn together for additional rewards, being an early investor into Venn. This is before we launched the Rogue Money Watches Trade Room. So I'm looking to sort of integrate the Rogue Money, Watches Trade personnel inside there into the X node program. And potentially we could pool for the largest node available, which would give us massive payouts for Venn.
That is sick.
Yes, but I gotta work the logistics out. We already have 56K Venn already locked up, which is an equivalent to a Thunder X node, which is the second largest X node, and then the largest X node is a Millionaire X node after Thor's hammer, Millionaire X node, and that one's 156K Venn. So I need confirmation of 100K Venn available. I've got no doubts that our Watches Trade Room can generate that kind of Venn and lock it away.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. Z, do we have any projections right now on how Thor is going to pay? I know that's what everybody wants, and I know that's what no one can get.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Venn, when you generate this master node, it's called a master node. At the end of the day, when you generate this master node, it pays out in Thor, just like Neo pays out in gas. This pays out in Thor. What you can use that Thor for, you can use that Thor for getting into ICOs. You can use that Thor for when China makes this whole city, you'll be able to use that Thor towards, paying for a cup of coffee even. The general estimate is that Thor is going to be roughly a quarter of what Venn is worth. And that is correct in its projections, in my opinion, because Neo is about a quarter of what, gas is about a quarter of what Neo is worth. So I think that Thor will hit the market roughly about $5 at the start, because this is, as this is coming like a few months from now, right? This is when Venn launches its mainnet in June. It releases its whole masternode program in probably July and August. And then that's when Thor will be generating. I believe Venn will be upwards of $15 to $20. So I see that Thor is going to be roughly, $8 to $5 to $8 is what I think Thor will hit the market at, and then it will rise up to roughly $20 to $25.
And that's, this is all as I get made fun of for saying none of this is like investment advice. This is all for entertainment, purposes. This is, and Z is pretty good, with that kind of thing as far as taking a look at what happened with Neo and gas. And, I guess the question is that, do you remember the actual payouts as far as how many Thor per month or whatever it was?
Yeah, so it depends, right? It depends on what kind of node you have. So originally Venn created the master node program where you had 10K was a strength node, 25K was a thunder node, what's it called? And then it rose up, and then 50K, and then 100K, and then 250K was the program. Then they released the X node program, which was essentially rewarding early investors into Venn, which is what I got into, and I locked my Venn away for this program, and that gave a 200% bonus payout on Thor. So the math that the calculator gives is that if you own 10,000 Venn, you will essentially make roughly, this is based on the calculator, you will roughly make 80K a year on 10,000 Venn. If Thor is, I think, at like $8.
Yeah, and Thor could go to like $28. I mean,
Thor could easily go to $28. That doesn't even include the rise in Venn itself. So 10K Venn, you're making 80K a year, or I think it was 80 or 100K a year. But that's generated every single week, guys. You're getting a payout every single week. So you can live off 100K a year. That's,
dude.
Yeah, you just sit back, right? And then every single time you get Thor, you just sell the Thor. As simple as that. You just sell it.
Yeah, and just to put this in a perspective, Z, before Neo really went off, like when gas hit the market, what do you remember offhand the price of gas and the price of Neo when gas hit the market?
Oh, at one point, gas was as much as Neo. And then it's funny because Da Hongfei, which is the CEO of NEO, announced that, hey guys, calm down a little bit on gas. He had to announce this because people were getting the wrong idea about gas. NEO's gas is actually kind of special. Da Hongfei pretty much said that he can create as much gas as he needs.
Dude, I can create all the gas he wants, man. Just give me some beans. Seriously.
Yeah, so he can create as much gas as he needs. So gas will never be expensive. Now, Venn they definitely didn't say that yet. If they are going to say it at all. So people are bullish on Thor. But that's the reason why gas isn't, exponentially going up, is because, they released that statement. So
yeah, the way that I'm looking at it is like, okay, so gas right now is $32. Okay, $32 for one gas. NEO right now is about $85. Now, personally, with Venn having the backing of the Chinese government and with everything that Venn has going on, I think Venn is going to be worth far more than NEO, like a lot more. Like I could see Venn well over $100 easily.
Correct.
And so if you're looking at, Venn versus Venn versus NEO, which is like kind of it's an analogy of Thor versus gas. I think that we could easily see $50 Thor within like, I don't know, 12 months. $50 Thor, you got 10,000 Venn, you getting $50 Thor. I mean,
if you're getting $50 Thor, man, you're making like upwards of like $300,000 a year, guys, on Thor payouts. This is why Venn is such a big deal, and its partnerships are legitimate, guys.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, before I had the amount of crypto that I have right now, I blew like 80% of my wallet to lock down a Venn master node like months ago. Mm-hmm. Seriously, like, for me to do something that's that big and essentially hodl it, which I don't ever hodl, I'm just letting you know, this is what the cowboy does. Y'all do what you want to do.
Yeah, I don't hodl either, and that's sometimes the reason why I don't really talk about Venn sometimes when I do my updates, because I forget about it, right? Because I keep my Venn locked away.
What'd you say, V?
That's why you guys miss out everything, because you don't.
Yeah, I keep my Venn. I swing that hodl bag.
Yep. That's how you hodl the correct way, man. You do something big like that. You build up your bag, and then you're able to make these big moves, like getting into a master node. It's the way to go.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I will be working on that, on the logistics on that, and that will be a Rogue Money exclusive, guys. For those of you who are inside the Watches Trade Room, I will be opening up to that, as well as the ICOs that come with Venn, because I am an Xnode owner. I get exclusive access to Venn's ICOs, and the biggest ICO, arguably this summer, very similar to like a one chain kind of feel where everybody wants a FOMO into it, is BitOcean. So BitOcean is going to be, I believe, the first ICO going to be launched on Venn's platform, and we'll have whitelisting for it because I am an owner of Xnode.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about it. In order to, okay, so just want to put some perspective here. The amount of money it takes to put that together, right? It's massive. To be a part of this is such a massive advantage. Like, it is, we can talk about it all day long, but if you're in the crypto space right now, your mouth should be watering. And in order to be a part of this, you got to go to www.thecryptoschool.io. Go ahead and join us. You make enough money to buy that masternode, and especially if you like to be entertained while you're making that money.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys can simply just do, for the highest paying out masternode, and you guys can look, the highest paying out Xnode, guys. Remember, this is not just a masternode. This is an Xnode where you're getting that added bonus of payouts. I believe it's like 200%. With that added bonus, you're looking, take $5.28, which is what Venn is currently at right now, and times that by 156,000. That is how much it would cost you to get a Millionaire Xnode, and which you can't even get anymore because the time has passed, that the lockup period has passed. But yeah, that's essentially what the dollar value would be, to get into this.
Yeah. However, we know people. Hey, I freaking know people. All right, I know people. So, yeah, this is the amazing deal. We could hammer it into the floor, but if you knew what we knew, you'd be jumping all over this. The access to the ICOs and the information alone is worth it. So that's
that's the reason why, you know, at the end of the day, guys, that's the reason why 51% of the supply of Ven has been locked up now. I mean, for those of you who haven't heard me say that before inside this channel, yeah, so 51% of Ven's supply has been locked up in masternodes already in the X node program. So it's a very, very big deal, guys. When the community rallies behind it, Ven is arguably has the strongest essay in the game.
Yeah, look at it right now. If you look at the chart, I mean, you know, Z and I got in and we called it. What did we call Ven at? What did we call Ven at? 39?
We called Ven at 39 or 29. One of those two.
It was like 20. I'll have to look back in the records, but essentially we just bounced off the cloud and made this massive gain over the last couple of weeks here. So we're sitting pretty at 55 or so thousand Satoshi. That's pretty close to double when we called it.
Yep.
So how many coins have we had double in the room in the last month?
In the last month, we've had 5 coins that have done 6 coins. I'm sorry, 6 coins that have done a complete 100% gain. 6 coins, guys. In the last month, we've had do a complete 100% gain, guys. I'm talking like you just buy that coin, and you know a week and a half goes by, and you hit 100% gain. It's like that. Like literally, you don't have to go in and out. Nothing. You just sit right there, and it rises up to 100%. And we've had 6 of those calls.
You got to think about that. I mean, just on those 6 coins alone, that's a 600%. Now you got guys in the stock market that are getting paid $250,000 bonuses to maybe make you 2%. We're in here killing it 600%. You know, and you guys get to watch that. You guys watch it happen. It's really entertaining. You only have to pay $2.99 a month to watch that, so it's pretty cool. That's, you know, that's pretty much that. I mean, are there any other coins or anything we want to talk about?
No, so that's just really the big news, guys. You know, obviously, I would definitely take a look at the whole SEC regulatory meeting regarding Ethereum and Ripple. This is a very big deal, as we all know. You know, Ethereum, regardless of whether Bitcoin does what Bitcoin's dominance does, Ethereum still makes up $77 billion of the market. So that's a very, very big deal, guys. Hopefully the SEC, you know, doesn't come down on it. It becomes positive. Now that we know that, you know, for example, Goldman Sachs is talking about opening Bitcoin futures and stuff like that. Maybe, you know, the government won't be so hard on Ethereum and so forth. So, you know, maybe it'll push up. But you know, also at the same time, what I'm going to personally doing is I'm going to be setting contingency factors, right? Meaning that I'm going to have my stop losses in play. I'm going to be communicating with the group stating, hey, look, you know, this is coming up to the news right now. I'm going to set my stop losses here and there, make sure that, you know, it's solid just in case the SEC comes down and Ethereum spikes down. Because if the SEC comes down on Ethereum, you can bet that, well, at least I think that Ethereum will take a hard hit. And, you know, I definitely don't want to be a part of that hard hit, right?
Oh, yeah, we called Ethereum. Let me take a look at that call. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. I just want to see where I called it, where it's at. Coin. Let's see what it says here. Bing, bada, ding, bing, 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 bing. It's my new favorite song. This is all right. Let me see. I don't know. Let's talk about something else while I'm searching for this.
Okay. Well, you know, V, do you want to keep talking about your platform? I mean, what's it called? Just real fast, guys. You know, we've been working hard on the platform, going at it, guys. I mean,
hard body.
Yeah, hard body. These guys are pulling all-nighters. You know, one of the colleagues we work with is crazy. But he, you know, we love him, but he's crazy. Honestly, he's nuts. You know, I love him. And we've been going hard at it, guys. Yep.
You're both neurotic.
yeah. It's great. You know, I thought I drank a lot of coffee, guys, until I met this guy. He takes it to a whole new level.
He snorts coffee, man.
I was gonna say he. I'm not
lines of espresso.
He's building a snowman with his coffee. Is what we're at.
That's exactly what he's doing. and he's inhaling it.
I think
Folks, the platform is going to be launched soon, probably the next few days. You know, we want to do it right. You know, I was trying to rush it out there, but I don't want to rush it out there with, you know, half-baked. Luckily, Z and our partner Matt and Cowboy and Frank, they all, you know, calmed me down. They all gave me a there. They gave me a, you know, they took me into the kitchen, made me a banana split, and which helps calm the gorilla. And we're going to do it right. So when we launch this thing, it's going to be the most polished platform in the world. And the platform, the way it's going to work, folks, you know, no matter what, you know, altcoin you have, you're going to convert to BTC. Once in BTC, you come to our platform, and we're going to put you in LBMA Gold. Convert whatever amount, as little as $5,000 minimum to $200,000 per day, per transaction, per client. Okay, 200K. Put you into LBMA certified gold. Now, with the gold, there's three aspects. Okay, it's LBMA certified, meaning, and the system is LBMA good delivery. So it's outside of the banking network. It's free from any kind of third-party counter risk. And it's the most paranoid network of people you'd want to deal with. These guys are absolutely nuts. They're absolutely psychotic when it comes to the safety and the efficacy of their gold and their system. So once it's an LBMA gold, we could do a few things. We could shoot it over. We could deliver it directly to your front door, A. B, we could vault it for you, and it's vaulted not in the bank, which is dangerous, not in the United States, which is dangerous, but in a safe jurisdiction that's part of the LBMA Good Delivery Network. If you don't know about LBMA Good Delivery Network, please don't talk crap about it because you don't know, okay? Because the whole point of people go, if you don't hold it, then you don't know. No, that's not the way it works. When the elites want to utilize gold, they use the LBMA Good Delivery Network. It's a 268-year-old network that was only for the elites, only for institutional investors, only for sovereigns. Meaning when China wants to buy gold, or the sovereign fund wants to buy gold, or a bullion bank, or anybody wants to buy gold, if the IMF wants to buy gold, they're using LBMA Good Delivery. Okay, and it's a standard. I'm talking about the pricing model. I'm talking about the standardization for the purity of gold. So this facility, once it's vaulted, it's free from all third-party counter risk. It's insured and bonded against all loss, against all theft, against nuclear strikes, tsunamis, earthquakes, you name it, okay? Your stuff is protected. And the beautiful part is it gives you liquidity. Liquidity is the biggest problem in cryptos because of governments and regulations and banking cronies who are afraid of competition. They want to lock up. They make it very, very difficult for you in order to get your cryptos out and to liquidate it and to move it into fiat. Well, we move it to LBMA certified gold. From there, we were able to liquidate it into 24 currencies of your choosing, whether you want dollars, euros, pounds, yen, whatever. We wire it into the bank account of your choosing, and and once it's in your account, you decide what you want to do with it. Okay, it's just that simple. The platform will be going up soon, so and it's completely highly polished, complete white glove affair. It is amazing, and it literally becomes the answer that everybody's been looking for, which is real liquidity. So, and it makes your cryptos useful. Now you could actually trade cryptos and earn a living from it. It's amazing.
Yeah, so I wanted to speak a little bit because I actually subscribe to the idea of if you don't hold it, you don't own it, right? So I'm actually somebody who, unless I had, say, more than a certain amount of gold, would hold it, you know, in a space that isn't a vault that belongs to anybody else, right? And talk about where it is, but if that is a contention for somebody of, oh, I don't hold it, I don't own it, that's fine. This platform is not necessarily meant for somebody to actually store their gold somewhere, other than, say, in their house, in a vault somewhere, or change it into cash. This isn't just you're going to get your gold, you're going to vault it over to Hong Kong. Personally, I mean, given that we're connected to the people in that vault, I would personally vault a large amount of gold in those vaults. And I'm a person who doesn't feel comfortable doing that kind of thing. But at the same time, this gold is good for delivery. This gold is good for, you can change it into fiat. And when you change it into fiat, you know, even if you were to buy a small amount of precious metals in the United States, they actually don't report that to the IRS. That's something that they don't do. But there's a limit to that. I think it's $10,000 in a day, and there's all kinds of caveats to that. They actually end up reporting it, and it's really ugly. You know, there's a lot of false information around that. It really depends on the vendor. This is a place where you can do up to $200,000 a day.
Yeah, that's absurd.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
I mean, you know how good of a feeling that would be to be able to cash out, be like, oh man, dude, I hit my limit today. It sucks. I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
on top of that,
$200,000 limit for the day, and you gotta wait till tomorrow for the other $200K.
Oh, it's like, gosh.
Or you could be like in
Coinbase.
You could be like in Coinbase, where you hit like $5,000 and you get like $20K, and they're like, yeah, we gotta start reporting you now because
and then you get an agent, knocking your front door the next day, going,
Yeah.
And this is there's nobody doing the following. There's nobody doing. You can take cryptos, turn it into any type of gold. We're going to say LBMA, good delivery, but you can't, that I know of, anywhere, take it, turn it into gold, and then turn it into fiat and have that fiat come to you and it not be reported. It's not there. It's not there. I don't know if it's there. Let me know, because it's not there. We're doing it. So come talk to us.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. I have clients of mine who don't like having $3 to $5 million worth of gold hanging around in their house. That's just not safe. No. Elite people want to have it offshored in the right jurisdiction. So I'll give you an example. I had a client of mine a few years ago. He vaulted with me over in our LBMA facility in Singapore. It's the largest private gold vault in the planet. Okay. And what happened was there was some issues with some of his family members. They wound up suing him. A federal judge ordered that he liquidate the gold, and the federal judge called our vaulting facility with the U.S. jurisdictional authority. Blah blah blah. Give us the gold. We basically gave the entire U.S. jurisdictional authorities the one finger salute. Can't do nothing.
Can't do nothing.
Can't do nothing.
And this is something
it falls under WTO regulations, World Trade Organization rules and regulations. So you can't touch it.
Yeah, and there's another thing that people don't know, and it's really scary that people don't know this. Whatever you keep at a bank in the United States, whether it's cash in an account, whether it's gold in a safety deposit box, you are now an unsecured lender to that bank because they repealed Glass-Steagall, which Harley talks about a lot. Harley Schlanger, love Harley, you guys. He's on Thursdays. Got to check him out on the Rogue, the Rogue Show. But you got to understand that if you have $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 in gold sitting in a safety deposit box in the bank, if everything goes bad, they can just take that and they can invest it. They can do whatever they want with it. Your gold's not safe. Nothing is safe in a bank in the U.S. Period. Nothing is safe
in the U.S. Period.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's pretty serious, and that's serious. And nothing's safe here. Nothing.
Glass-Steagall was a law that was in place to basically keep the banks from using your deposited funds and your deposited assets. Before Glass-Steagall was repealed, I think Obama did that. The banks.
No, you did wrong. That was me, baby. I did it. I did it in 1999 before I left office.
I wonder why I did that. I was a little bit busy in the office, and a young lady came in there with a cigar and said, "I'll do something special for you if you just repeal this little old law."
That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I'll tell you. So anyway, that law prevents the banks from using your funds for their investment purposes. That law was repealed by Slick Willie, and so here we are now. And our solution is the way to operate with freedom.
Yep.
So bam. So I'm going to bring up here on the screen so we can see this. Is www.thecryptoschool.io. Again, that is www.thecryptoschool.io. And V, can you tell us about what we're doing over there?
Thecryptoschool.io, folks. Here's the deal. You want to learn about cryptos, you want to get your feet wet, get yourself an education, go to the video education series over at the Crypto School, the box that's all the way on the far left. Click on that. There's a curriculum that we're always adding to. It's $297, one-time fee for a lifetime of membership to the educational series, okay? You have the crypto community Slack room that's like a hangout for you could talk. It's like $4.99 a month. A lot of people are on there. They can talk, they can interact. There's some some good information over there as well. And of course, the flagship product is the Watch Us Trade Room, which is right there in the middle. You get full interaction with Z and Cowboy that are in there that are running the room. And you're going to get the best calls. You're going to get the best entertainment. You're going to get the best charts, the best details, the best information, all without the use of psychics, chicken bones, remote viewing, tea leaf watching, witch doctors, tarot cards. None of that BS, because they don't have the fundamental analysis. They don't have the technical analysis. These guys, Z and Cowboy, have all of that and then some in a bag of chips without any of the BS. Watch us trade room. Then that's $297. That's about $300 a month. You pay for that using you take your crypto profits, get a little Coinbase account until our platform's up, folks. This is how you pay for it, until the platform's up. You get your Coinbase account set up, or you have a Genesis account. You put your coins that you've earned, your profits from there, put it right into Coinbase or Genesis, and then cash out. You can pay it. This is the way that you can take some profits in order to pay for the schooling. Coinbase, I think it's if you keep it under $20K for the year, they don't report on you. Okay, so you got to worry about that. So your whole crypto school thing is around $4K, so they're not going to bother with that. And with that being said,
hey, real fast, Cowboy, can you go ahead and show the Slack room, guys? A lot of people have a lot of questions in regards to how you guys talk with us and whatnot. So for starters, guys, we are always inside the room. We're always inside there. Cowboy wakes up at 5 a.m. And I go to sleep about like 2 a.m. these days. I'm trying to sleep a little bit earlier, but about 2 a.m. is a healthy point for me. And so we're always inside the room, and you can send us messages, guys. You can talk inside the general. We have a crypto discussion room in which you can ask us any questions. And remember when I say this, guys, there's no such thing as a dumb question. You can ask us any question that you want. We also do updates for people. Now, another thing, guys, that we have their general trade calls. This is where you watch us trade. So you will see Cowboy post up what he's thinking about a coin. He'll post up what he's getting into. Same with me. And that's where we also announce FA stuff as well. So that is where we post. And if you actually, if you want to just scroll up real fast, Cowboy, you can actually see the timestamps, guys. We're always inside there. There's no BS. You're not going to not hear from us for a week, guys. The max you're not going to hear from us is maybe like 10 hours. Because we're sleeping.
What about the trader who disappears and he's not going to come back until Bitcoin?
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So you can look for yourselves, guys, based on the timestamps. So you got like 5 p.m. right there. You got 4 p.m. right there. We're always inside there, guys. And once again, you can talk directly to us. Like, you can always talk to us, guys. It's just that simple. We don't hide away. I don't understand call rooms that have no chat inside of them. I think it's a little bit preposterous. I think, no offense to Snippy, but I think one of the comments he wrote last time was that you can send the Realist News website a support ticket and they will get back to you. He said that. He said that in the live chat. You can actually check that out. You can send a support ticket. What the fuck, quite honestly, like support ticket. Are you serious, dude?
Guys, no, there's a good reason. Every time the support ticket comes through, then there's a note that goes over to their shopper, and then they have to go buy a bunch more chicken at the store so that they can get the bones out.
It's just ridiculous, guys. So you know what? You can simply tag us, guys, in any question you have in the discussion room. You can ask inside the live chat right now on YouTube, guys. We're always inside there. We'll answer your questions. It's just simple as that, guys. You got a question about Ven. How much is a masternode cost? How many Ven you need for a masternode? We're inside there answering questions, guys. And we're also do chart updates. You want to update on salt? I'll tell you exactly what I see on salt. Simple as that. That's just how it works, and that's what you pay for when you pay us $300 a month. We offer that service because we think that that's right.
Oh yeah, I mean, and while we're on the screen, I mean that the timestamps are right here. They got me at 3, me at 4. That's me at 5. Then Z's here at 5:50. We're often there at the same time, so we can everybody gets to see us talk trash on each other. But then there's like me at 8 p.m. There's Z at 8:30. And that's usually the handoff kind of happens around, because I'm in there at like 5. I'll do some basic stuff. I'll really start, hitting it hard around like say 6, 7 o'clock. And then, that's me handing off at 8:45 over to Z, and there's Z posting at 9, me at 9:30, Z at midnight, Z at 1 a.m., Z at 1:30 a.m.
Yeah. The point is, guys, that we're always inside there, guys. At the end of the day, we're just always inside there. That's just how it works. And I truly believe that call rooms without chats are disaster, guys, because there's people inside there that don't know how to trade. There's people inside there that have no idea what a midterm call is, no idea what a short-term call is, right? It's all speculative. It's all up to what the trader does. My midterm call could be different than what Cowboy does is a midterm call, but that's why we're inside there explaining what our call is, why we're getting into it, right?
And the reason why we bring this all up, it's like, it sickens me to death when I see fake trade rooms with fake bullshit, and it's just a scam, dude. It's only a matter of time before these idiots go to jail. I swear to you. It is what it is. And you know what? We try to open up here's the olive branch. Hey, man, wake up. 86 the BS. Come join the winning team. Everybody's happy. All boats rise with the tide. It is what it is. I just have a problem with scams. I just can't.
Yep.
I just can't.
But anyways, guys, that's that's what we provide, guys, and it's no BS. Simple as that.
Absolutely. And with that being said, folks, we're at the end of the show, and I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I want to thank Crypto Z and Crypto Cowboy, and once again, the website is thecryptoschool.io. Thecryptoschool.io.
Oh my God.